A long time ago, man who could be called a seer told him that he was going to die tomorrow. It's a bit tense between the two men, as it's like a doctor just told you that you're going to die soon. But this man was sincere. In his eyes, he saw certainty. So being curious, he asked him why. He asks him if it's a joke, laughing and mocking him. The man wasn't joking, yet he takes everything lightly. He was his friend, and he understands what his friend was trying to tell him. Because this mission was certainly one of the most dangerous. It was the mission for the survivors of humanity. He is the representative of the 12 Zodiac Kings, known as the 13th Awakened. Today they have to take the Demon's Tower. Of course, even though his friend announced his own death, he isn't affected because the same friend who told him about his death has never been right about anything. So why would he be right today? He is ready to face the demons and put an end to them. Today they will win and come back just like every time, according to him. He forgets what his friend said, his friend who had to say goodbye to him. Yeah, pirate, always listen to your friend who is always wrong. Yeah, no, I don't really buy that one. No, in the end, don't take it. It's not great. But in your opinion, is he really going to die? Or will he come out of this place alive? I'm telling you clearly, he surprised me. Really surprised. They announced that they will support the 12 Zodiacs, the remaining 12. They will support them. They just have to trust them. But something is brewing in the shadows, something evil. Normally the story is that the greatest hero, the most magnificent of heroes, was sacrificed in the fight against Ed-Eye the demon. But in reality he had defeated him. And as it is said, he died just as his friend had said. But what people don't know is that he wasn't sacrificed. He was stabbed in the back. He was betrayed by his own, among the 12 Zodiacs who fought with him. There was a traitor who had set him up, and that's how he died. The death his friend had talked to him about. However, 20 years later, from the Tower of the Devil, something happens. An orb of energy has formed, and a man appears. A man formed by an unknown energy. He remembers his former life and realizes that a bastard betrayed him. He doesn't know who that person was, but everyone among the 12 Zodiacs will pay. All those who conspired and to betray him. Let's die. Yeah, that sets the tone a bit, but pirates, in reality, that was just the first part. In reality, it wasn't even the prologue. The story I just told you, and that I hesitated to share, is actually, if you will, a draft. Yes, a draft. Still, it's not bad already. We could have clearly settled for that. But in reality, the creator did a rewriting rather. He rewrote the entire story with more details and more information. So you'll ask me, pirate, why are you telling us a story that is actually a draft? It's because I want to share this first part of the story with you. It's still important to know where the creation of this story started from. So pirate, let's start from the beginning. A long time ago, one day, a disaster had struck the earth. It was the greatest disaster humanity had ever known. The demon that had just arrived didn't come alone. He had come with an army of calamities. One of the most terrifying armies that humanity has ever known. The most formidable army they could ever face. And the monsters exceeded everything humanity expected, whether it was the power or even the size. Absolutely everything was insane. Humanity sank into unprecedented chaos in the face of mysterious being. They knew absolutely nothing about. Humanity named these creatures that came from nowhere the unfortunate disasters. To face these monsters, humanity resorted to nuclear weapons. And guess what? The nuclear weapons destroyed them. Not the monsters, but their cities, their worlds. The women and children of humanity. The luckiest managed to escape, while the less fortunate were burned in the flames. And all of that just to entertain the monsters, which had no effect at all. It didn't do anything to them at all. To them, it's just simple fireworks. They responded to the nuclear attacks, all while dancing and destroying the cities, and in the process, slaughtering and devouring the survivors. When hope had vanished, and everyone was just waiting for their turn, their fate, a man stood before them. The weapons did nothing, yet he, with a single attack, slaughtered them. So you're probably wondering who this man is? In fact, it's the same person, but as I told you, we're dealing with a rewritten story. And I don't know if it's a trademark of his, but his face is always marked by wounds that are more horrible than the others. It's certainly due to his experience and everything he's done to get to this point, and you'll see that in reality, from the very beginning, it's a mistake. Yes, pirate, a mistake. Or rather, it's someone who has schemed something, someone who is very well positioned. To better understand, let's go back just a little bit to grasp it. Where do the 12 Zodiacs come from? It's the story of the 12 Zodiacs. Humanity named the 12 humans selected by entities from their world. These 12 men will be called saints. Each of them possessed a power granted by the entity that had chosen them. And during this same process, while they had selected the 12 humans, a mistake occurred. A man had appeared, he's called the 13th Awakened One. As much as he was selected, he had been chosen by an entity. His name is Legume, and his goal was to defeat the red eye that was at the center of the calamities. They gathered in front of the demon's tower and had to face it to the death. His power was unmatched. He was formidable, and the day to confront the calamity had arrived. So he had entered the demon's tower with the 12 saints. But strangely, when they came out, there were only 12 saints who emerged from the tower. People were wondering where had the great hero Ligu gone. Silence had taken over the room. Then a man said that he had decided to sacrifice himself for the sake of humanity. In tears, he announced the news of his death. But in reality, that's not really what happened. It's just nonsense. It's true that he had risked his own life. But that's not what happened. The truth is, he had managed to barely defeat the Red Eye. But those bastards had betrayed him. They had abandoned him and ran away to escape. But they still managed to defeat it all on their own. Unfortunately for him, in the shadows, they had plotted something. In the shadows lurked a Zodiac. One of his comrades stabbed him in the back. What surprised him? He didn't understand how and why he had done this to him. Why betray him? He had stabbed him with a dagger and pushed him into an insurmountable pit so he couldn't escape. Not to mention that in that pit where he had thrown him, there were monsters. He took the time to leave him with some friends. Friends with whom he will be able to get along well. Yeah, it hurts a bit. It's kind of like the story at the beginning, but I still had to tell you both stories so you could understand a bit about the world we're really in. And what's cool is that the second story brings a lot more information and a lot more details. So you're probably wondering what was the purpose of these monsters. The problem isn't that pirate. The real question to ask is just how strong is this guy? I swear, I wasn't ready. I really wasn't ready. He made sure to give him reliable friends, which makes him laugh. What kind of mess has he gotten himself into this time? Your left arm is cut, your right arm is disabled. It would be simple if he died here. He sees his weapon on the ground, so he decides to pick it up. The best technique is Roronoa Zoro's. He carries a dagger with his teeth, no joke. Him dying this way, never in a million years. Who said he was going to die so easily? If they want his death, they're going to have to go through him. He can't, I like this. He must die as a healer. So, all alone, he who has been abandoned, he who is now without an arm, he who single-handedly defeated the fearsome Red Eye, today he will have to face an entire army of calamities, monsters as fearsome as each other. He refuses to die before he finds all the bastards who betrayed and abandoned him in this place. They are the ones who stabbed him in the back, so wait for him because his return will signal their end. The pirate was just the beginning. I wanted to include the sequel in this episode, but the video might have lasted 20 minutes or even 25 minutes, so I made it into 2 parts. And the video, I've already finished writing it. And from what I've seen, guys, I can assure you that some of them might just shit themselves. To tell you about the pirate, I really want to spoil it for you. It's crazy, it's so wild. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to share your thoughts and feelings in the comments. Take care of yourselves. And don't forget that we are pirates. We can't be stopped, not even by the 13th chosen one.